Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream Monday. My name is Laura Cantu, and I am super excited to have you all here today to join me for this very, very important live stream. Today's presentation is going to be super insightful, super helpful. It's going to be filled with information that's very, very relevant because today is October 2nd. Yesterday was October 1st, and usually October 1st is a huge day when it comes to the FAFSA, but this year some things have changed, which we will discuss today, and I will be talking about the things that have changed regarding the FAFSA form. So stay tuned. Make sure that you are paying lots of attention, especially if you're a parent of a student who is a senior this year, or if you're a student who is a senior this year. This information is really helpful. Additionally, if you're not a senior yet, still this information is going to be important because even though the changes are happening this year, when it comes to your time to be a senior, it might be different, but knowing everything about the college admissions process ahead of time is still very important. And this information is not only important for parents or students who are in senior year of high school, it's also important for students who are in college because the FAFSA should still be filled out every year that the student is going to be going to college for the following year, right? So the FAFSA for the first time should be filled out that senior year of high school, 12th grade, and then every year after that until the student graduates. So when the student is a senior in college, that's the only year when the FAFSA should not be filled out anymore. So if your student is maybe already in college, this information is also important. And even if it's not, it's important to know about these things, about the FAFSA in general, because it's just information that is going to be around. The FAFSA will be around, has been around. And also the CSS profile, I will be going over that. The CSS profile is a different type of financial aid form, a different type of financial aid application that is very, very important. And a lot of colleges do require this form. They require it from, if the colleges that do require the CSS profile will require it from students who are resident citizens of the United States, but a lot of schools who require the CSS profile also require it from international students. So, it's another form. It's not asked by every college in the United States, but a lot of colleges that do require this form. It's important to know the deadlines. It's important to know how it works, etc. Right? Before we begin, I would like to let you know and invite you to subscribe, follow us in all of our social media channels. The handle in all of our social media channels is Best College Aid USA. That's where you can find us. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and we do go live on TikTok and Instagram on Tuesdays at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So in 24 hours, Francisco will be live and he will be live on TikTok and Instagram. And also if you want to follow us and see all of our content and on our other social media platforms, feel free to follow us. Feel free to check out what we have to offer in those platforms as well. As I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about the FAFSA changes for this year. The FAFSA form will be different this school year for the 2024-2025 school cycle. So it's important to know these changes. And before I get to that information, I would like to let you know, in case you are interested in joining Best College Aid, we are having a special discount. And you might be wondering, what is Best College Aid? Our Best College Aid family membership, where we go over the whole college admissions process from beginning to end, our step-by-step guide. We have tutorials on how to fill out the FAFSA, how to fill out the CSS profile, how to write a great college admissions essay, how to create a college list, all those things. We cover it inside of our Best College Aid membership. Now, if you're interested, if you have been here before and you have heard about the Best College Aid membership and you're interested in having more personalized, more step-by-step help, I would like to invite you and let you know that we do have a 50% off discount right now if you want to join Best College Aid. The 50% discount would make, instead of you having to pay $997, it goes down to $497. A single payment, and that is a one-time payment that you have to make, and you would never have to pay anything again if you do decide to do the one single payment of $497 today with our special discount that we have going on right now. Or you can also choose to do a monthly payments of $197. Again, once you complete those payments, you will have access, you and your family, because it is a family membership. So if you decide to join Best College Aid, you and your family, mom, dad, parents, and the students, the children, will have access to our unlimited online support, to our private Facebook community that is exclusive for members, to our weekly private Zoom sessions that are just for members. We actually just had a Zoom session that was just exclusively for members, where Francisco and David sit in front of the computer and they give out advice, and our members will ask any question pretending there's specific situation. They'll ask questions about, whatever is going on in their college admissions process, and David and Francisco will sit down and answer it. We dedicate an hour and a half to 2 hours every month to those private Zoom calls that are just for members. So only Best College Aid members get access to this link and access to these Zoom calls. So that's another benefit, along with the many other benefits inside our membership. So if you are interested in joining Best College Aid today, we do have a 50% off discount. The link is in this video's description if you are interested in joining and becoming part of the Best College Aid family, so that you can have more guidance and you can have a little bit more help that is more personalized, that is more step-by-step, and that you can have the resources so that your student can go to college with scholarships, right? All right. So that was what I wanted to get out of the way before we get into today's information, which is huge. The FAFSA changes for this year, because in case you haven't heard, the FAFSA is changing. There's going to be some changes this year with the FAFSA. All right, so for the 2024-2025 school cycle, for my students who are 12th graders right now, the new FAFSA form is going to be available in December rather than October 1st. Remember earlier I said we are in October, and this is usually the time of the year where I would be telling you guys, okay, October 1st, FAFSA opened yesterday. Have you filled it out? Have you sent it out? This is usually the time where I would be doing that, making a lot of social media posts. But no, this year, it's different. The FAFSA form will not be available to send out till December. So it's important to know that, right? That's, I guess, one of the most notable changes that we can talk about, because usually October 1st is a huge date. But yes, this year it will be available December. Next year, it won't be available in December. It will go back to the regular date. But for this school year, the FAFSA form will open December of 2023. So we still have a little bit over a couple of months till it's available, till it opens. But that is the first change that I wanted to share with you in case you haven't heard it. Now, some of the changes to the FAFSA, the 2024-2025 FAFSA form include an expanded participation requirements for federal student aid. Their requirements are going to be expanded. They're going to be different. Their requirements to receive federal student aid. So this might be beneficial to a lot of families, a lot of students. So that is a huge difference and a huge change that is happening. Another big change that is going to be, it's going to affect obviously the amount of financial aid and the process is it's a more simplified process, right? So before, the FAFSA used to have 108 questions. Now, this new FAFSA form is going to have around 36 questions. So it's going to be way shorter, way more simple, right? It's not going to be a bunch of questions. It's going to probably take less time. So that's a huge change that you need to look out for. Now, it is less questions to answer, but that doesn't mean that you and your student shouldn't be paying a lot of attention and shouldn't be really focused on the type of answers that you're giving, and there's no room for errors. That's what I mean, right? And this is the same as the FAFSA in the last few years. Making a mistake on the FAFSA, maybe filling out the wrong numbers or just putting maybe yes when the answer is no, that could be very detrimental, and it could result in losing the chance of receiving thousands of dollars in financial aid and scholarships. So please, just because it's less questions, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be paying a lot of attention and that you shouldn't be filling out this form correctly and on time. You should still be focused on, as soon as the FAFSA opens this year, which is December, focus on filling out that form as soon as possible, and getting it done and doing it on time and correctly. And another change to this new FAFSA form that is also different, obviously it's a change, is that the data from the IRS will be automatically transferred to the FAFSA, which is also very convenient, and it's just going to make the process much easier because that data is just can be transferred to the FAFSA website, and it's going to make it much easier for the parents and students instead of having to maybe manually inputting, numbers and data. That information can be automatically transferred. So that's actually very nice and very helpful, right? All right, so those were my initial topics or points of conversation. I guess the biggest changes, or I guess the most noticeable changes to this form, is the fact that the FAFSA is now going to be available and it's going to open on December as opposed to October 1st, and the simplified process, right? Less questions. Now, let's talk about some parents have expressed, or they have mentioned, that maybe they already filled out the wrong form, because if you mistakenly completed the 2023-2024 FAFSA form, which was the original or the typical FAFSA form that you might have been filling out the last couple of years. If you already did that and that has been sent out, don't worry. You can still log into the studentaid.gov website. Make sure that your email address is up to date, and you can submit your application for the 2024-2025 school cycle, that new FAFSA form. Because we did have some parents, some students who did messages and say, oh, we completed this, or we filled out this form, which was the 2023-2024. It was the wrong form. See, old one, the one from last year. So if you did that and your student is currently in 12th grade, is currently a senior, or has to basically send out the FAFSA for the next school year, make sure to fill it out. Make sure to, again, log into studentaid.gov. Make sure that the email address is up to date, that it's not an old email address, something that if you do receive an email once that form is submitted, is going to be an email that you have access to. And obviously submit that application once it's December. It's open in December, and you can send it out to colleges and universities. Alrighty? Don't panic. Okay, now, another change, and this might be students or parents who might have had, maybe have multiple children, a parent who has multiple children who already went through the FAFSA maybe a few years ago, right? And they filled it out when they were seniors or when they were going through college. And they might have heard of the EFC, the expected family contribution. That terminology, that name is going to change for this upcoming new FAFSA form. And it's not going to be called the expected family contribution. It's going to be called, the Student Aid Index, the SAI, right? And why did this happen? Why are they changing the terminology? Why are they changing the names? The term EFC, it so happened that it was very misleading. A lot of families, a lot of students, parents would think that EFC is all that they would have to pay, that's what the EFC stood for, expected family contribution. Parents and students thought, okay, expected family contribution, this number that I receive once I fill out the FAFSA, they would think this is what I have to pay. But it wasn't. So it was very misleading. It was very confusing. So now they changed the name, new terminology. It's no longer expected family contribution, no longer EFC, Student Aid Index, SAI. The SAI, the Student Aid Index, is an eligibility index number that is going to be used to determine how much federal aid the student could receive, right? So it's basically Similar, same, but the name is going to change. So while you are filling out the application, while these processes are happening, you will no longer see, oh, what's the family's, enter the family's EFC, what's your family's EFC. It's going to be, what's your family's SAI, the student aid index, right? So it's important to note that, and maybe not panic, parents who have gone through this process before and they were familiar with the EFC and they're like, okay, my EFC is this. Where is that part of the application? No longer EFC, SAI, Student Aid Index. All right. And now I do want to talk about the next point and maybe clarify, maybe talk about if the CSS profile. Okay. Because just because the FAFSA is having some changes and it's going to be a new form for this upcoming school cycle, doesn't mean that the CSS profile will be changing. Now, just a little summary of what the CSS profile. The CSS profile, it's a type of financial aid application form that not all colleges in the United States requires. For example, the FAFSA, all colleges, every single college that awards federal financial aid requires the FAFSA, will require the FAFSA. When it comes to the CSS profile, however, only around 400 colleges and universities and certain scholarship programs use the CSS profile, okay? There are over 3,000 colleges and universities in the United States, and only 400 use the CSS profile, require the CSS profile. It's important for students, it's important for parents to know which colleges are going to be requiring the CSS profile. Now, it's also important to understand that if your college or the school that you are applying to requires a CSS profile, don't think, oh, that's it, they require the CSS profile, I don't have to send out the FAFSA. You do. Most schools will require both if you do qualify for the FAFSA, right? And also another thing about the CSS profile is a lot of colleges that do require this form do also require it from international students, whereas the FAFSA form, as you may know, it is mostly, it's only students who are citizens of the United States, who are residents, and who are eligible non-US citizens, right? So that's another difference. But a CSS profile, only around 400 colleges, universities, and yes, scholarship programs. So there are some scholarship programs such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Coca-Cola. I'm not saying those require the CSS profile. I'm just saying those type of programs. There are some that do require the CSS profile when students apply to it. Now, I would advise my students, I advise my students out of Best College A, and I advise you to check that and to make sure that if your student is a senior, or even if your student right now, or you are the student watching this, if you are a junior and you're going to be applying to college eventually next year, start figuring out which college requires the CSS profile and which colleges don't, like on your list, right? Because creating a college list, that's one of the important parts of the process of creating a college list, and is figuring out, okay, is this school going to require the CSS profile? And if so, when are the deadlines? Because deadlines for the CSS profile do vary from school to school. While the CSS profile is available from October 1st, so the CSS profile application, all the schools that require the CSS profile, it's going to be open and available October 1st, which was yesterday. The deadlines for those schools that require this form, the CSS profile, those are going to vary from college to college, right? So it's going to be different deadlines. And that's why it's important when creating a college list, when looking for schools, when going through that whole process to know, okay, this form is going to be available in October, but if I'm applying maybe early action, early decision, or if I'm applying regular decision, maybe it's going to be worth submitting it right away. Or if the deadline is in February, I shouldn't wait till February to fill it out, right? Maybe filling it out right away in December or January. It's important to know those deadlines and important to know which colleges will require this form. Alrighty, so just wanted to, give that extra tip and kind of make those differences between the CSS profile and the FAFSA, because we do get a lot of questions on that. And inside of Best College Aid, inside of our Best College Aid family membership, we do have tutorials, step-by-step tutorials on how to fill out each form, how to figure out which colleges require the CSS profile, which colleges don't, and how to fill out these forms, because they are different, and the platforms that obviously where you have to fill out these forms are also going to be different. So those are things that we do offer inside our family membership, some of the many benefits inside of Best College Aid. And I'm sharing this with you because I want to remind you, maybe for some of you who might just have joined this live stream, we have a 50% off discount for our Best College Aid family membership. So if you're interested in joining Best College Aid, the time is now. We have 50% off our membership, and you can join Best College Aid for life because it is a lifetime family membership. So if you were to take advantage of this discount and do the single payment of $497, you would never have to pay a penny again towards Best College Aid, and you and your family would have access to all of the incredible benefits that we do offer inside Best College Aid. So if you're interested in joining, the link to this sale, to this special 50% off discount is in this video's description. Additionally, if you're only interested in maybe learning more tips, in learning more, strategies, and having just more resources, college admissions resources, we do also have a free training at the moment that is just an additional resource that we have for you, parents and students who are watching. And if you're interested in watching this free training, you can go. This is the live stream right here. Here is the special offer. If you're interested in joining Best College Aid, that's the 50% off. But if you're just interested in learning the top secrets to go to college with scholarships, if you're interested in having access to this free training, you can click on that button and you can register today, and you can learn the following in this free training: how your student can get in the top 10% of their high school graduating class, how to earn a top 1% SAT or ACT score, the number one thing colleges look for, how to write a perfect college essay, how to get recognized by admissions officers at top schools, how to earn the best college aid, and how to find the easiest scholarships to win. All of this is inside this free training, which is just a free resource that we wanted to create for you, parents and students watching this. So if you're interested, again, the link to this free training, it's right here in the video's description. It's also on Facebook, free webinar right here. And if you are interested in joining Best College Aid and having access to all the benefits inside of our Best College Aid membership, it's right here, the special offer. You click right there and it will take you to our Student Financial Aid Month discount, because yes, this is the Student Financial Aid Month, and you can join Best College Aid for it right now for life, because it is a family membership. So if you have a student who maybe is in middle school, this information, this membership, our help, our guidance will be available to them right now, middle school, till they get to 12th grade when they're applying to college, and even till they're in college, because we do have information, we do have part of the advice and the video tutorials that we have inside of our Best College Aid family membership is life in college, how to find cheaper, more affordable college books, right? Textbooks for college. We also have budgeting advice. We also have, how to choose the right classes, all those things that are like life in college. We do still cover that. So it is a lifetime membership for that reason, because we do have a lot of students. We do have parents with students who join since they are maybe starting high school, and we have watched them from 9th grade go into senior year and get scholarships, get accepted into their dream schools. And that makes us really, really happy. So if you're interested in becoming part of the Best College Aid family, again, take advantage of our 50% off discount. It's a single payment of $497, or you can choose to do a 3-monthly payment of $197 to join Best College Aid today. And we do have a 14-day back guarantee. So if you are not satisfied with your purchase, you can get your money back. But we don't get a lot of people who get their money back, or they request to have their money back because they're really happy with what we have to offer inside of Best College Aid. So just wanted to share that with you. All right, I do see a question in the chat, so why don't we go ahead and answer that? If you guys have any questions, this is the time for me to answer questions since the presentation's basically over, like the information has been shared. So if you want, or if you could help me out by maybe sharing this video, if you found it helpful, with maybe a friend, a student, somebody who you might know that might benefit from this information, I would really, really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat. I'm about to answer a question by Mel Price, who asked, what is the CSS profile on College Board? What if I need aid for summer of 2024? All right, great question. The CSS profile, as I mentioned earlier, is a different type, or it's a type of financial aid form that only around 400 colleges in the United States require. So not every school is going to require the CSS profile. It's only a select number of colleges and universities that require students to fill out this form. If the school that you're applying to, or the school that you're currently going to, requires the CSS profile, you should always fill it out, because it's an additional form that the school is going to use to analyze and to determine maybe institutional aid that you could receive, whether it is need-based aid or merit-based aid. That is a form that the schools that do require this form use for awarding financial aid and scholarships. So if you need aid for the summer of 2024, it all depends. Again, if you have a college list, if you know which, if you're right now applying to colleges, just make sure that whether or not those schools that you're applying to require that form. All right, great question. And yeah, the CSS profile is a form that colleges and universities that do require it, they use it to award institutional aid and scholarships. Alrighty, great question. Jeanette Corden is asking, hi, I'm already a member. How did I get the link to the live Zoom sessions for the Q&A? Thank you. Hi, thank you so much for joining us, Jeanette. Yes, we send out those links to our members, so you should receive it through email, and we also post them on the private Facebook group that's exclusive for our members. So if you, I don't know if you have access to it yet, or have found it, or because you have to request access to be able to join. But since you're a member, if you are not in it yet, you can request it, or you can also send us an email through to our personal email accounts to Best College Aid, and we will help you out if you haven't join our private group that's just for members. But we do publish the day of the live stream. We publish the link on Facebook, but you always receive an email, and it's always on the last Friday of the month. All right. So we did change the dates for that. But if you have any questions, Jeanette, since you are a member, remember that you can email us, and that you can send us a private message inside of our Best College Aid platform. But I would recommend sending us an email and with any questions that you may have, and we can help you. Also, if you already have access to our private Facebook group for members, if you're already inside of it, you can also post questions there. Usually we will get back to you right away. And a lot of our members also like to help each other out. So maybe if you have a question, they might help you out if you do decide to post your question inside our Facebook group. All right, Jeanette, well, thank you so much for your question. Let me know if you have any questions. You can send us an email, remember. And yeah, I don't see any other questions. I hope that you found this information helpful. I know that when people hear FAFSA changes, like the FAFSA is already kind of a stressful topic for a lot of people because it is such an important part of the financial aid and scholarship process. So we wanted to share some tips and some information that will definitely should be beneficial to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this information. And as always, we are live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time here on Facebook and YouTube. We will be live tomorrow on Instagram and TikTok at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can follow us right here, Best College Aid USA, if you're interested in watching our live streams and also just seeing our content that we post daily. And again, if you're interested in joining Best College Aid, we have a 50% off sale going on right now. And you can access that discount down below in this video's description, or if you're on Facebook, it might be over here. And yeah, you can join Best College Aid and have access to all the amazing benefits inside of our membership. That's everything that I had for you today, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you all have an incredible night, an incredible week. Stay safe and happy October. Oh my gosh, it is spooky season. So I hope you guys are gonna enjoy. I love October. I love Halloween. So this is definitely a very fun month. So I hope you guys are all having a great day, great week, and I'll see you guys next time. Erica says thank you. Ophelia says thank you for the information. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Have an amazing night and a great week. I'll see you later.